you won. You push yourself to your purpose, you persevere through the slums. Maneuver smooth through the hustle, you careful making your runs. Everyone packing pistols, stay safely behind your gun. Make sure you got your own back, them busters run. Don't end up doing long time, cause busters sung. Looks like loyalty's a thing of the past, and these gangster flicks and rap vids got y'all gas. So when the lead start flying, my guess is that's your ass. Cause death will let no man pass. My circle is small and for the living, the strong and unforgiving. No nonsense, the driven, each one obsessed with winning. Settle for less is bullshit, I want it all. Take yours, cut it all up and give to the poor. Sit back, watch the fireworks and witness the war. At the day's end, I want more.
At the end of the day, when it all goes away, nothing left to see here, nothing else to say. When the crowd goes up, put the playlist on, let the sound go up. Till the crowd show up, when the crowd come down, put it right back up and fly. Put the crowd back up and fly. Put it right back up and fly.
I ain't for the drama, you ain't got no beef, and I ain't got no time, cause I don't get no sleep, and I don't need help, only I can do me, and I'ma be fine, cause I wasn't born weak. See, the world ain't mine, cause I wasn't born meek, but I walk this planet for the things that I seek. I suffer in the gutter, push my being to the brink, create what wasn't there, bring life to what I think, blow my cloud in the air, keep my consciousness in sync, my instincts well aware, prepared to throw the kitchen sink, keep fighting till it's finished, till the whole shit sink, till I hit rock bottom, bounce back and reach peak, back in my proper placement, ready for shit I'm facing, still feeling alive, cause my heart's still racing, my mind still moving towards the peace I'm chasing, tomorrow's not promised, so motherfuck patience.
At the end of the day, when it all goes away, nothing left to see here, nothing else to say. When the crowd goes up, put the playlist on, let the sound go up. Till the crowd show up, when the crowd come down, put it right back up and fly. Put the crowd back up and fly. Put it right back up and fly.
The blunts I roll lift the cloud off my soul and help me understand exactly where I'm supposed to go. Help me make a stand, know what I'm supposed to know. See through the facade, try to let my anger go. Life goes on, another show, another town, some other clowns, some other hoes. But the only thing that matters waiting on me back at home. Legacy building in the midst of menacing villains, murdering children like the killings becoming thrilling. The rush of bloodlust, women, baby, civilians. Land gon' become sand from all the graves that they filling. Bodies in the lake, other shake on the sidewalk. Yellow crime tape, nothing fake, no outline chalk. Just a kid meeting his fate, knowing his time gone. Bleeding out, hearing the screams of his crying grandma. Dying inside, cause she know that her grandchild gone. So there's nothing left to say.
At the end of the day, when it all goes away, nothing left to see here, nothing else to say. When the crowd goes up, put the playlist on, let the sound go up. Till the crowd show up, when the crowd come down, put it right back up and fly. Put the crowd back up and fly. Put it right back up and fly.
Yo, what is poppin'? Welcome, friends. Welcome to Sha'il Reacts. I am your host, Sha'il, and we are back in the building with an impromptu live that wasn't scheduled to happen, but on the back end of that Cartel Wives we was just watching, I said, let's do it. So, again, salutes to Jonathan Pantoja in the chat being number 1. Think Like a Kingpin being number 2. Salutes to you. Let me change this image up here because we are no longer on Sha'il Reacts 6. We are on Sha'il Reacts number 7. So, let me get this going in here. Bow. All right, very impromptu, so I'm not in a rush. I'm not taking my time. I'm taking my time, and I'm not looking for perfection. We're hanging out. A couple of things I want to clear up. Couple 1, 2, 3 questions I want to clear up, and see. Boom. And let me roll this down here. Appreciate y'all for being here. Salutes to Kai in the chat. You gotta give me a second, Kai. I gotta look down. I gotta read it. We know you new to the lives. It's your first live, so thank you for arriving on the scene and showing up. We appreciate you. We know you missed a couple. You know, I'm producing and I'm figuring and I'm all of the above over here. So give me a hot second. We got this covered. All right. So that looks good. That's there. Boom. We lock that down. This was the one from the other night right here. We're going to replace this one too. This guy's a live virgin over here. Not anymore, Papa. You just got your cherry popped. We hanging out. Salutes to Felix Reyes in the chat. Salutes. Let me change this image here to this one here. Boom. Let's get this together. There you go. We have it. So there's a lot going on in the world. I'm hoping we can cover more than just what we're normally used to covering and cover that as well. But there's so much happening out there. There's about 934 pages of Epstein documents out there in the world. Salutes to 030 North in the building. Per usual. Appreciate you being here, brother. And we cut this one off. Bow. We on and popping right there. This is my smoke screen right here. This is so, when I elevate my mind, YouTube don't, get me out of here because they've been trying so hard. I stopped watching the new Sammy the Bull interview with Vlad to make the live. Yeah, don't worry about Sam. Sammy probably over there lying about something. There'll be somebody in my comments defending Sammy somewhere soon. Don't worry about it. That interview will be there. We live right now. Anything can happen. All right. Let's go back in the chat real quick. We got Jonathan Pantoja, Think Like a Kingpin, Kai Gachapin. Hopefully I got that right, but I'm sticking with Kai. Felix Reyes, 030 North per usual. Salute you guys. I appreciate y'all being here. I'm going to give it a little time, let a couple of more people walk in, and we'll hang out and check out a couple of things. And like I said, I want to clarify some things. I want to put out a disclaimer and clarify the difference between the lives and the premieres for some people because it can be confusing. It was confusing for me when they first rolled it out, but now I get it. Stop watching. I want to see if he's going to talk about the twins. Yeah, he'll eventually that'll happen. Somebody ask him the right question. If Vlad asks the right questions. Vlad, he be acting brand new sometimes, so who knows. Let me see. What else was I looking for here? But yeah, we're going to let a couple more people walk in. I appreciate y'all for being here. Again, the housekeeping. We have the on-screen text-to-speech donations. For $2, you can send a text-to-speech donation, and your comment will pop up right in the middle of the screen. It'll sound like this and look like this.
Test user sent $50 test message.
And for $5, you can send that with the YouTube link that'll pop up, populate a video, the audio for a video, for me to react to on the spot. We also have the super thanks, super chat, all that good stuff. So appreciate it. I'd appreciate if everybody hit the like button. That's something that you can do for nada. That helps a whole lot. You can do it for nothing, and it helps out a lot. And we need all the help we can get. I see too many channels out there that have that are run by people that lack effort. Those channels are blowing up. Those channels are blowing up. There should be a link in the description, in the donation, in the description of this video. Matter of fact, let me take a look. Let's take some time to do some housekeeping around here. Because again, like I said, I'm only one man, and sometimes I miss something. miss this or that. And somebody will call me out for it, or, of course. But we are in the live, and there is in the description, there is a on-screen to text speech link, Power Chat Live link right there. And there's all the other ways that you could donate there. And also in the chat, there is the little money sign and the plus sign or whatever that is. All right, man. We in here. Did y'all see Buddy jump over the judge's barricade and tackle the judge? Did y'all catch that one? That was a good one. He was wilding. I don't know how he thought that was gonna end. But I don't know. I'm sure it ended badly for him because Buddy got a whole new set of problems now. That's for sure. All right, we got the chat up on the screen. We good around here. There's also some information that I wanted to check out too. So we got some old school Flores Twins information right here. Felix Reyes said that was wild. First of all, Buddy had on his Biggie Small sweater. If you got your Biggie Small sweater on in court, it's safe to say something might go down. And it went down thoroughly. Can I show what? The link? Oh, can I show the video? Yeah, I'll show it, Kai. Jonathan Pantoja, that was wild. Yeah, let's see. Let's see, Buddy. Let me see. Jumped judge. Buddy was there for it, boy. Let me find a nice, clean one. This one's a minute long. Sure, we'll take it. It's a little longer than a minute. We'll find the longer version because there's a whole lot of hilarity involved in this clip instantaneously. Let me see. Let's knock this down. Let's knock this down. There she is. Yeah, he definitely needs. Things like Kingpin said, man, he needs help. It was stupid. He effed himself. He absolutely effed himself. And I don't know what the charge was that he was in there for. And I don't know what he was arguing about. And I don't know if he had an opportunity or a chance to go home. But I do know this. Now he ain't going home. He got a whole list of issues that he didn't have before. And, he tricked himself off the street, basically, if he was going home. Here we go, Kai. It's going down.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that he gets a taste of something else because...
See that? So somebody must have, what's the word? Suggested, something light for the young man. And that judge said, nah, I think it's about time he feels something a little harsh. And he wasn't prepared for it that day.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that he gets a taste of something else because...
He trying to give you a taste of something else.
In accordance with the law, I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court...
She said, I just can't with that history. What history?
In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court...
Hey! Bruh. Listen here, man. That dude could have been an Olympic hurdler. He missed his lot in life, all right? He could have been an Olympic hurdler the way he cleared that desk, okay? All of these men in the courtroom, these two knuckleheads still on the outside. They got the little clerk back there trying to do what he can with what he got, which isn't much. But dude could have been an Olympic hurdler. They failed at not recognizing his athletic ability and his skills at clearing surfaces because he damn near cleared that desk without even touching it. You know what I'm saying? And he got a hold of her. He's wilding. He's done. Definitely got hops. And guess what? She, older lady or whatever, she's slow though. She didn't think he'd dare. She was like the people sitting on the beach waiting for the ship to hit him in that movie, Leave the World Behind. She was just waiting.
That, but I think it's time that he gets a taste of something else because I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court
Slow. Boom. Clean the super hops. Dude's in shock. He's half smiling, nervous smiling. Now he's throwing little baby punches. Trying to break his kidney. Oh no, she didn't bob and weave. Buddy got a hold of her hair first. As soon as he cleared the landing, he reached out and he grabbed a hold of her, and yeah, there wasn't nothing coming off of that. But he cleared the shit out that dust though. He cleared the shit out that dust. It was at this moment. She knew she fucked up. And he was going all out at 11:09:34 a.m. But boom, got her by the hair. That's it. Once he had her by the hair, she will think like Kingpin says. She will never be the same. She will never have She will have PTSD for life. I don't doubt it, but guess what? It's plenty of people that she gives PTSD that probably don't deserve it on a daily basis. So she'll be all right. She lived. She survived. He just snatched her up. You know, in no way do I condone violence against women. I don't condone violence against nobody unless it's, we're humans. There's necessary violence. But I also can't feel too bad for her PTSD when she hands it out all day. You know what I'm saying? And, believe it or not, I don't believe everybody in prison is guilty. You know. Look at the cat swinging the hammer fist. No. We're going to get to him. Because, see, he goes from... He jumped into action first, right? Boom. Got around the waist, but then he realized he couldn't do nothing. And the other guy came, started throwing blows, right? Then he had like a nervous smirk over his face. The little clerk boy, he had a little nervous smile over his face, right? But then when he realized dude wasn't letting go, he was still dragging her. That's when he started throwing the little baby fist, and then he started hammer fisting. He went through the whole gamut. Hold on. We're going back. We're gonna analyze this right here. All right, so we already figured it out that she wasn't going for no soft shit today. She was like, "Nah, we smashing him." All right. He was like, "Not today. I'm not having it." Buddy, if you can see Buddy right here in the corner, look at him. He's looking crazy already. Look at him. He's looking like he already knows what she's still trying to figure out. All right. So boom. Buddy decides, not today. He gonna jump. First of all, Miles Morales, man. Book him in the next Spider-Man. Buddy got hops. Some people wanted to be like Mike. I think kids this year is gonna want to be like Buddy, except not tricking themselves off the street. They want to be able to cover that hurdle like that. All right, that's Miles Morales right there. Boom. All right. Salutes to Julio Cardenas, watching from Houston. Salutes to you, bro. Jonathan Pantoja said, talk about a reaction. Bruh, he's a hurdles champion, this guy. Cleared him. All right, so instantly Peter Parker jumped in there, right? Peter Parker jumped in there. He didn't hesitate. Peter Parker was in there before Buddy landed from his hurdle jump. Salutes Julio Cardenas, little village in the building. Soon as he made the jump, soon as he cleared the jump and grabbed the lady, Peter Parker jumped in to save the day. Think like Kingpin said, I think I seen him on a video jumping over the counter to rob a jewelry store. If he had that kind of form and he was that smooth and he made it through like that and was able to snatch up a Cuban link at the same time, it might have been due because he got everything he wanted. He got a hold of the judge and he cleared the top. Felix Reyes said, reminded me of that was Jimmy Superfly Snooker. That's his grandson right there. Peter Parker showed up, not Spider-Man. Spider-Man did not show up. The only Spider-Man that showed up was Buddy that jumped over that desk. That's the only Spider-Man that showed up. Miles Morales himself. Boom, look at him right there. This is that. if we can get this steady frame, this is like his Jordan logo right here. That's his. Yeah, that's his Jordan logo right there. Boom. That's his Jordan logo right there. So he got it. Boom. Peter Porker jump up, and he jumped right in. Right, but he got nothing. He grabbed him by the waist, but he ain't do nothing. He don't know what he's doing. He's probably never been in a physical confrontation in his life. So they're struggling. He's struggling. You know, Miles Morales versus Peter Porker. These guys are out here. They ain't doing shit. This guy's worried about the flag. This guy down here, he's trying to save the flag. He want to put the cuff on the flag. Let's make a shirt. Yeah, that's marketing right there, boy. Dude in his pose. You put the bench. You put dude in his pose. All right, so now security popped up. Dude, definitely, if you ask me, he's still dragging the judge down around there. He got her down there. He's dragging her around down there. And then Peter Porker's just riding his back, holding on, and now security's involved, right? Boom. Security's trying to get between him and Peter Porker. Bow. All right, so now they got both his hands. So I think he let the judge go. Because Shorty got a little cross face, but sideways cross face. He's not choking. He's just desperate. He's trying to grab whatever he can. Buddy with the badge is assessing the situation, but he got his other hand now. He got him off the judge. Boom, pulls him back. Shorty's having the time of his life right here. He's like, yo, I'm scrapping. And then somebody else gets involved, and then security steals on dude. Now, you seen security steal on him? There's another guy jumps in. Right here. And wow, he stole on him. So now dude, Peter Porker let go, right? Peter Porker let go. Now he got a nervous smile on his face. Think like Keep say he needs his own shoe. We put his logo on it. Felix Reyes say he's a legend in jail. Definitely a legend in jail. They're like, bruh, you cleared that bench. Every time you go to court, you got to try that shit, bro. They're probably never going to let him in there without a spit mask on ever for the rest of his life. Nothing. Hands, cuffed, shackled, the whole shebang. Look at all them dudes watching and not helping. Buddy right here, that judge must be his ex-wife or something, because Buddy ain't move a lick, nothing. The old man that was trying to rescue and handcuff the flag, he disappeared. There was a bald spot in the middle, he gone. So, but now Peter Porker got like a weird, like, smile on his face, right? He's getting a big piece of chicken. Hell yeah, he took out a judge. He got a smile on his face. Now check him. Look at him. He's looking weird. His mouth is open. And now, look, he's weirded out by the whole thing. Roll on him. He's like, all right, dude, you got it, bro. Oh, that's funny. Buddy gonna get the big piece of chicken. This guy right here with these karate chop hammer fist punches, he's the talk of the town. He's the talk of the courthouse. He's wilding. But at some point it looked like he was done. Like right around here, but then pissed him off. He's trying to break a kidney. Hammer fist.
Hey, get off her. Get off her. Oh, man, you're good. Stop.
Oh,
Don't do this.
crazy.
Hey, where's Mary Kate? Is she okay?
Hold on.
Don't do this.
Hold on.
You're good. Stop.
You're good. Ah. Buddy's suing all of their asses. beating the shit out of the security. Y'all weren't ready.
Hey, get off her. Get off her.
Look at these guys. This guy's like, oh, I'm so tired of this ghetto shit.
Good, you're good. Stop. Don't do this.
He probably tried to pull his hair.
Is she okay?
Is she okay? What do you care? Where were you, buddy? Yo, this is what's funny. Look at all these. This is all his Jordan logo. This is his logo right here, dog. This is his logo. She wasn't fast enough, though. She was too slow. She was too slow. They all tweaked. Oh, man, that was hilarious. Again, I don't condone beating on women. If it was a male judge, I'd be laughing the same way. In the words of Tupac Shakur, fuck the judge, I got a grudge. Salutes to y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Appreciate y'all. We hanging out. So now that we got a couple more people in here, I wanted to make it clear that basically the way I have the channel structured at the moment is a couple of times a week I do a live stream. In this live stream, I cover certain things. I'll cover like a Finnegan's Take. I'll cover a Cartel Wives chapter. Whatever, just to have the live interaction and to, you know, the sense of community for us to hang out together. We're just like a bunch of people that are just hanging out together, listening to the stories that we like to listen to and getting the information that we want to know. So I do these live streams, and throughout the week, I cut the pieces out. So let's just say I cover Cartel Wives on a live stream and I cover Finnegan's Take. I cut those two pieces out of the live stream and then I upload them as their own video. When I upload them as their own video, I like to do it as a premiere when I'm available, because that allows me to watch the video with you and to be able to have a live chat to talk to you guys so that we can continue to grow community. And again, it's like just hanging out with the homies. Think like Kingpin said, imagine trying to convince a judge to win a settlement for the beating they gave him, bruh. I will put nothing past our system, bro. All right? I'm going to hold off and say that I think that dude might got a case on his hands. Buddy might got a case. So anyways, like I was saying, so what I'll do is I'll take my Finnegan's Take episode and I'll cut it out of that live and I'll put it up and I'll do it as a premiere. That way we could talk and we can hang out. So premiere is just me and y'all in the live chat. And a live is like this. I'm able to talk to you through the camera. You say something, you ask a question, you leave a comment. I'm able to, you know, directly talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So like today, if I were to do a Cartel Wives, that would be the next Cartel Wife that drop. It will get cut out of this live. So I just wanted to be clear with everybody. Also, I don't know if I said homeboy won that fight. He definitely won. He took a beating, but it took a lot of them to get him off of her. So he definitely won that fight. What else I was gonna say? Also, I don't know if you have iPhone or Android, but if you're looking at your YouTube on your phone and you see comments and there's two little dots, if you go to where you leave your message and you swipe over, it'll give you the live chat during the premiere. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that can be confusing too. It's kind of dumb, but it is what it is. Cigar and chill, definitely a cigar and chill. This is Chili Reviews. Welcome to Chili Reviews. But I wanted to clear that up and make sure that people know that maybe I'll cut this and make it a short so that people get the point. As much as I can possibly do premieres, I'll do premieres. How I used to do it was I just filmed the video by myself and then upload it. But with the live feature there, I figure why not build community and go live and do it all at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Jonathan Pantoja said it's trippy when you catch it live and the repeat, but salute for the moment of clarity, my dude. Definitely, I just wanted to let that know because it ain't just one person or another. It's a lot of people that are confused by it, and I understand. I also thought about as soon as the lives are open, as soon as the lives are done, making them private, you know what I'm saying, to avoid the confusion. But I figure, man, just let them ride. We're a growing channel. If people want to see them, let them see them. You know what I'm saying? I still can't see the money. It should be in the description of this. There's all kind of links in the description of this. You don't see it? Let me know, Kai. Ravi and Sorana, a strong duo. Watch Olive enters Wow Factor. All right. Well, I like a little context to not be flying blind, but y'all can't see my screen, so I can do that. Let's see. Does it Kai says what's confusing about the premiere is that it actually says live on it. Well, that's YouTube is ridiculous. That's kind of dumb. That's kind of dumb. It depends what this is, Robbie. I'm taking a look right now.
Sebastian.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at it right now behind the wall. Mute it real quick.
Olive's dad loves to run. Olive isn't a fast runner. Olive's mum enjoys laying huge eggs. Olive doesn't like the look of that at all. Olive's little brother pecks at the ground to find tasty roots to eat. Pecking at the ground.
All right. Yeah, this is probably not for my crowd. You'd probably have to drop the donation for me to react to this. So yeah, that's my answer for you, Robbie. My apologies, because I don't get it. I like some context. And again, I do it, but you'd have to drop the donation for that. I'm not gonna go against the grain of my channel unless I'm getting paid for it. You feel me? I got y'all watching nothing because I ain't put it on the screen. I make sure it was off. I don't see nothing offensive about it. It seems like a little cartoon. Listen, man, YouTube is a strange place when it comes to kids and cartoons and people. There's a lot of sick puppies on YouTube, and it's kind of annoying that YouTube, being the giant corporation that it is, that they can't control their servers better than they do. I tell you what, there's things that are on YouTube Kids that have no business on YouTube Kids, and it's like there's things on YouTube that have no business on YouTube. They're too busy policing. They're just like the rest of the world, too busy policing the wrong shit, and too busy policing the wrong shit while everybody else is getting through the cracks. So I'm kind of a watchdog when it comes to what my nieces are watching on YouTube, because YouTube is not good at all at here's the thing. It looks like YouTube is leaning more towards children, like it wants to become a children's platform. You know what I'm saying? With how much policing they do of the way we speak and things like that. But at the same time, it's predatory because there's a lot of shit on here that they don't need to be watching. Big donation. No, homeboy who made the recommendation. Oh, yeah, what the hell he got us watching? What he had me watching, but I was worried for a second. And it's cool. I like recommendations. If it has something to do with what we do, I might have done it. You know what I'm saying? If they would have said, this is my thing, I made this, or this, that, or the other, even a little more. But there's no context. There's no nothing. You're just asking me to do something. And it's like, yeah, you probably have to hit the donation link for me to stop and give my attention to it. You know what I mean? I looked it up on my computer for like 10 seconds and I was out. Sorry, bro, but it ain't my cup of tea. I want to talk Flores. It's exactly like, don't get it twisted. With for $1, I'll listen to I got a friend that listens to a baby cry for $4. You know what I'm saying? But to just be sending me to places, I'm straight. All right, there was something else that I wanted to check out with y'all, and now we might have the opportunity since we're here. If there's any questions about the premieres, so again, Kai said that they put live on the premiere when it's on, so that's kind of dumb. But during those premieres, if I set it up as a premiere, it's because I'm making my best effort to be there. To be there to be able to talk with y'all in the live chat. You know what I'm saying? Where we're at right now. So I appreciate y'all. There was something else. I have a piece of information from back in the day of the late great attorney Shake Shaft that see if this is it. No, that ain't it. That I want to check out. So let me see if I can find that link. And we'll go through that. Salutes to everybody. Please hit the like button. Again, this was an impromptu live that wasn't supposed to happen. Like when we was trying to catch the National Geographic Chicago episode. Absolutely. Happens. You know, that's what I'm saying though. YouTube policing me, but there's so much out there they're not policing. Like, whatever. But that Nat Geo episode, I'm gonna try to edit that again this weekend. I'm gonna get that thing on here. Watch. I'm gonna get that thing on here with no copyright problems. We're gonna figure it out. Here we go. Let me send this link to myself. And we'll get into this. Boom, boom, boom. That ain't it. That ain't it. One second, y'all. Again, take this opportunity to hit the like button if you have it. I found a bunch of Saul stuff. Was gonna send it your way, but you beat me to it. I might have found his paperwork. Yeah, we found a bunch of receipts about how much money that fool was getting being a dirty, rotten scoundrel. We found the Sun Times article. We found a couple of things. We found the contract that he signed with Llewellyn to be Llewellyn's son. Found all of that shit. One sec, y'all. You know how it is when you gotta scroll to find something. And you don't remember. And you gotta make sure you're in the right place. Let me see. That ain't it either. Tweaking. I hate not being prepared. Man, that cop has like $7 million in his account. Llewellyn, I don't doubt it. Kai said lowest human, no code. Guy has zero code. Zero code. 5-year-old baby can get it as far as he's concerned. Kai said, what I want to know is how did the twins have so much restraint that they never retaliated against him, especially given that they had so much weight? You got to understand something, Kai. That dude was covered by the police. He was covered. He had protection. Anybody was gonna get looked at that if they touched him. The same thing with why didn't K touch him when K pulled him out the car? You know what I'm saying? Salutes J Fam. Salutes to J Fam in the building. 100. Appreciate you being here, bro. Thank you very much. But yeah, Kai, like if you touched that dude at that time, police was gonna come down on you. You couldn't just dispose of him, or somebody would have. Not just the twins. The twins weren't the only hustlers that he got. You know what I'm saying? Again, like they said in the book, K found him casing the joint, snatched him out the car. Why didn't he do it? They had enough to take out, but they had enough power to take out a contract. By the time that was over with, and then because they were still in Chicago when that happened, By the time that was over with and they left, they weren't worried about him till it happened again. Then when it happened again, what happened? The shit hit the fan with Theo Lupe too, because of that. So it was like all of those things happen at the same time. I don't see them being able to get at him at, like that. It wasn't gonna work like that. And then they ended up getting him how they got him. But again, they were here, they were in Chicago. Yep, them dirty ass cops will pin you with that body and you done. Lupe, him and Saul, yeah. Better call Saul and Lupe. Better call Saul, face asses. Oh man, it's too crazy, dog. It's stranger than fiction. It's stranger than fiction that and that's why so many people are involved and want to know what happened in the story. Listen, there's parts of this that are just a movie in itself. You know what I mean? Just little parts of it. Not to mention the whole damn thing the way it is. But I think you would have touched that Saul guy. Yeah, you'd have had not only his body on you, they'd have put whatever on you they wanted to put on you. Why? Because he was a cash cow for them. The guy was the highest paid CI at the time. Wow. Damn, man, I can't find this link. Keep looking at the wrong link. Yeah, I'll find it like this. But that guy had no code. Super dirtbag. Super dirtbag. USDA. Got messages and bookings and all of that. Let me see. So much that we will never know. Again, I mean, there's some that we won't know. There's some we will know. And hold on a sec. Let me try something else. That ain't it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come back with this Shake Shack information because I can't seem to find it. Ah, there it is. There it is. Thank you. There's something else I wanted to show y'all too. There's somebody else out there talking about the G Unit chain. Somebody else out there. Let me send this to me. But again, like Kai said, he said so much that we'll never know. I mean, there's some stuff that we will know, some stuff that we won't know. It ain't over yet, and my quest to get them on here ain't over either. Jonathan Pantoja said, I believe we all have to have morals and principles, in my humble opinion. Saul was wrong all the way around. Yeah, you got to have some kind of code, even if you're in the game, you know what I'm saying? Some kind of principles, and I feel like nothing was off limits to that dude, When they said old people and kids, and then he wasn't just hitting hustlers, he was hitting business people, who. But a thief is a thief. A ladrón is a ladrón. They're going to take what they're going to take from who they're going to take it from. They're not going to take it from nobody strong. That's a fact. They're going to take it from, somebody weaker than them. And in his case, it happened to be old people and kids because he was weak as fuck. All right. But yeah, morals and principles is important. Listen, to me, I don't believe in, I believe if you're in the game, you're in the game. I don't believe you have to be cruel to be in the game. I believe in the duality of man. I believe that if you could love your mother and still take a man's life. You know what I'm saying? Some people think that those two things don't come together. They think people are one way. Just like when we had the conversation about Sean Penn and Kate de Castillo. And they're like, oh, but he loves his mother. Yeah, I'd expect him to love his mother. I don't think, every top gangster hates his mom. Like, why are you surprised by this, Things like Kingpin snitching, killing, robbing, cheating, all of the above. Buddy was on all of the above and doing it to his friends and family and viejitas and kids. Salutes to Sarah Lee in the building. Let me throw my hundreds up for Sarah Lee. Checking in on the check-in. Salutes to you, Sarah Lee. So that guy had no code, man. He was just that guy was he was meant for the bottom of the shower. That guy was a drain. And he had CPD at his fingertips. At his fingertips. Sitting in his crib like a weird Schmeagle creep, you know, across the street from a police station, terrified somebody gonna come get him because he didn't hit everybody. Think about that. Think of the nerve that it takes. Kai, I'm your friend, right? And you get snatched up and you call me because you know I'm the dude that got that kind of bread, right? And then I say, cool, I could get you this bread, but you got to pay me a 10-20% vig on top of this bread. And you're like, cool, I just need you to save me. And then you come to find out that I'm the dude that put up that, you know, put that ransom or asked for that ransom and got you kidnapped in the first place. That's extra dirtbag shit right there. What I appreciate about Jerry is that he's 100% honest. Jerome, I will say that, Jerome, he lets the cop ooze out of him. He lets the cop ooze out of him. That dude is sitting there telling his, Jerry is Jerome Finnegan, the guy we're covering in Finnegan's Take. Do you know what that is, Kai? Finnegan's Take is another series that we're doing, so check it out. We got 3 episodes, well, 2 episodes and 1 paperwork party that we did on Jerome Finnegan, and he too is part of the Flores twin story, and he's too part of the Chicago story, you know, in a lot of people's lives. So we're covering him too. Think like Kingpin said, we never hear cops keep it real. I'm telling you, he kept it real, and he's still who he is. He's still sitting on his high horse thinking that he's better than everybody else. He still got a cop's mentality. That's a fact. I could hear it on him. It comes off of him. But again, we ain't heard nothing from what's his face, from Saul. But I doubt Saul's gonna be like, yeah, I'm a dirtbag, and nothing is sacred, and I'm the scum of the earth. Nah, that guy's gonna find a reason to tell me that, you know, that baby deserved to get snatched. You know what I'm saying? That old lady deserved to get extorted. But we'll see. We'll see. But that guy had no code, not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. All right, Kai, so you know what we on. Yeah, so make sure you catch those playlists too, man. We all the way in. All right, here goes my link. Boom. Paste. Watched it. Boom. Salute. All right, here we go. Yeah, he's Jerry. They call him Jerry. I call him Jerome. That's his name, Jerome. Makers, takers, and cockroaches. Stinking, filthy, dirty, bottom feeding, juice at the bottom of the dumpster, cockroaches. Okay? Facts. All right, here we go. Got something to look at, y'all. Shut this shit down right here. Wow, Tom Shake Shaft talks to Patrick Radden Keefe about the star witnesses against El Chapo. Nice little piece of artwork right here. This was a humiliating moment for the old man when America put him on parade. This is January 17, 2016. It says proceedings are underway to extradite Joaquin Loera, the cartel boss who twice escaped Mexican prison, to the United States. If El Chapo, as he is known, goes to trial in Chicago, the government has star witnesses lined up to testify against him. The identical twins, Pedro and Margarito Flores, testify against him. The identical twins, Pedro and Margarito Flores. Let me read that again, then I'll fuck it all up. If El Chapo, as he is known, goes to trial in Chicago, the government has star witnesses lined up to testify against him. The identical twins, Pedro and Margarito Flores. While still in their 20s, the Flores brothers became major drug traffickers, importing tremendous quantities of drugs. They avoided violence and feuds with rivals as their power grew, but they got caught in the middle of a cartel war and found themselves in a dangerous, maybe impossible position. That's when they started working secretly for prosecutors, recording their business calls with El Chapo and others in exchange for leniency in their own trials. Tom Shakeshaft, the former assistant U.S. attorney who flipped him, tells Patrick Raddenkeefe how it happened. All right, we in. Hit the like button. Throw them hundreds up in the chat. It's going down. We got a piece of content we didn't know we was going to cover it today. But here we are. And I want to hit this.
Listener supported. WNYC Studios.
All right.
This week on Notes from America, a conversation with Oscar-nominated filmmaker Raoul Peck. His latest documentary chronicles the story of a black family struggle to keep the land they've owned since emancipation. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Dorothy Wickenden, and on today's Politics and More podcast, Patrick Keefe talks with a former assistant U.S. attorney, Tom Shakeshaft, about twin brothers and former drug traffickers who may be star witnesses in the case against the infamous Mexican cartel boss known as El Chapo.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Shakeshaft passed away shortly, I believe, before the trial, unfortunately.
So it looks like the U.S. may finally extradite the drug kingpin Joaquin Guzman Loera El Chapo. El Chapo was taken into custody in Mexico after a prison escape, a second prison escape. That was just a gigantic embarrassment for Mexico's president. Now, one of the reasons the U.S. government wants El Chapo to stand trial here is that U.S. attorneys have a couple of star witnesses to testify against him. They're Americans, former drug dealers who worked with the Sinaloa cartel and then became federal informants. Patrick Keefe has covered the drug war for years. Patrick, who are these guys?
So they're a pair of identical twins from Chicago, Pedro and Margarito Flores. They're Mexican-American. They were born in the U.S. and actually grew up on the West Side. It's funny, I've been writing about the drug trade for years, but there's this...
Goth Beauty. We're live right now. I gave a rundown real quick. I'm gonna give you a quick rundown, all right? Gave a rundown earlier, and we found where the confusion is. Kai said that they say it's live. I do the lives, and then I cut down the lives, and I put them out as premieres so that I could talk to you guys in the live chat. So the lives, I'm right here. I'm here on the live. We could talk. On the premieres, I'm only able to talk in the live chat because it's an uploaded video. But Kai says they put the word live on the video even when it's a premiere. So I understand where the confusion's coming from. But we in this bitch. Salutes. And we are listening to an interview between Patrick Raddenkeefe and the U.S. State's Attorney Tom Shakeshaft that was on the case. Salutes to you. Thank you for being here, God's Beauty. Hundreds in the chat for you. Wow, we in here. At the beginning of this, I gave the same little breakdown. You can catch it later. Here we go.
Patrick, who are these guys?
So they're a pair of identical twins from Chicago, Pedro and Margarito Flores. They're Mexican-American. They were born in the U.S. and actually grew up on the West Side. It's funny, I've been writing about the drug trade for years, but there's this one aspect of the business that always remained kind of stubbornly mysterious to me. We all know about these big drug cartels in Mexico, and we know they import huge amounts of cocaine, heroin, marijuana, methamphetamine to the United States. And we're also probably familiar with the idea that there's a retail drug market here where people buy these drugs. But the one thing I've always been curious about is where do those two worlds intersect? Where do they meet? Who are the middlemen who actually negotiate with the big suppliers who deal in kilos in Mexico and the street corner dealers who deal in grams here in the United States?
And these guys are the middlemen in some way?
Yes. So they actually grew up in a family where their father was an immigrant from Mexico, had dabbled in the drug trade himself. But by their early 20s, they'd really gone into the business in a big way. And what they were wholesalers. They would negotiate directly with Mexican cartels to buy just enormous volumes of drugs.
What kind of volume, what kind of money are we talking about?
Literally tons of drugs. They imported tons and tons of cocaine to the United States, but also dealing in heroin and marijuana.
And why were they so successful?
Well, there are a few things that are required in order to do this. You need the kind of comfort level with people on both sides of the border. You need to be able to interact with people in Mexico, but also people here. The other thing you need to be able to do, which is really interesting, is buy these drugs on consignment, on credit, because nobody puts down cash on the barrel. Are required in order to do this.
Listen, right there, he explained away a major key. These dudes were able to deal with people on both sides of the border. You know, they were able to deal with GDs, BDs, four corner hustlers, stones, vice lords, and then go on the other side and deal with, you know, the paisas and coexist in both and connect those two worlds. That's a big one right there. That's a big one.
You need the kind of comfort level with people on both sides of the border. You need to be able to interact with people in Mexico, but also people here. The other
Kai said, my wife thinks I got a problem with my little Flores addiction. You got a little Flores addiction, man. They dealing out Flores stories to you like coke. DJ Wito, salutes to you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. If you could hit the like button, I'd appreciate that too. Am I in Chicago? I am absolutely in Chicago. Goth Beauty said, my husband thinks the same about me and my obsession with Chapo. Don't worry, we dealing it out over here, man. I got the routes. Think like a kingpin laughing. We serving up these stories. Tell her you're doing research, that you're thinking of getting into the business. Yeah, no shit. I'm over here. I'm here. I'm a consulting producer on this one. Did Jay testify against Chapo too, or just Pete? I think it was just Pete, right? But I've heard that Jay did too. No, it was just Pete, because Pete was the one that had the phone interaction, from what I understand, from what I know. Could be mistaken, but yeah, it was just Pete.
The thing you need to be able to do, which is really interesting, is buy these drugs on consignment, on credit, because nobody puts down cash on the barrel for that volume of narcotics.
No kidding. That's the way you buy drugs, is on consignment?
All based on trust.
What kind of trust can there be in that world?
Oh, there's a great deal of trust when unwritten contracts are enforceable with death. Part of what made them so successful is there's a great deal of betrayal in the underworld. But these guys were twins. They were brothers. They were incredibly close. They could finish each other's.
Yo, y'all wilding the fuck out in the chat. Felix Reyes said, look, coke money didn't hurt nobody. Ain't hurt nobody. Nobody getting hurt. Think like Kai said, thinking like Kingpin trying to get me divorced. Good money though. Think like Kingpin said, you tell it. This dude said consignment. Trust
can there be in that world?
Oh, there's a great deal of trust when unwritten contracts are enforceable with death. Part of what made them so successful is there's a great deal of betrayal in the underworld. But these guys were twins. They were brothers. They were incredibly close. They could finish each other's sentences. And so this allowed them to really be a unit, and they would never double-cross one another. Margarito was kind of more outgoing. He was sort of the relationships guy. Pedro was the logistics manager, but they worked very closely together, and they could kind of communicate in shorthand. The trust between them was unshakable.
So what you had is you had the front guy, the people guy, and the systems guy.
Absolutely, like in a business.
That's amazing.
And the other thing,
that's the facts right there. He just broke it down. You know, got the guy, the business guy, and the systems guy. And I think they were both able to wear each other's jerseys and play each other's positions whenever necessary. That was important. 99.99999% of humans will never see that kind of money no matter what you do. Think like Kingpin said, because they die trying to get it. Ain't that the truth? Trust me, I'm trying to get that kind of money, Kai. And I've been killing myself trying to get it, just in a different way, you know?
About them that distinguished them was that they weren't violent. They were never.
And here's the thing that the brothers had too. Like, they had a partner that they were tight. They did share a womb. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like you had a partner that you had to be watching over your shoulder, waiting for the moment that he decides that he's gonna be the man. You know what I'm saying? These was two guys that moved as a unit. It was the perfect storm. You know what I'm saying? It was the perfect storm, the perfect recipe for it to be how it was.
Violent. You remember that line from the famous line from The Godfather about how violence is bad for business. They really internalized this to a kind of astonishing degree.
Wait. They were basically drug lords, and yet they were of the nonviolent variety?
Yeah. Working for very violent organizations, buying their drugs. I'll give you an example. So at a certain point, one of the twins is actually kidnapped. Pedro is kidnapped by a rival in Chicago and held.
Thinking like Kingpin said, it was the whole team, in my opinion. Dream Team, Coke Boys. Starts from the top. You know, you gotta build a team of bad motherfuckers to keep everything moving like a well-oiled machine. Without an architect, there's no team.
For ransom. And Margarito just pays a ransom of over $1 million, working for very violent organizations, buying their drugs. I'll give you an example. So at a certain point, one of the twins is actually kidnapped. Pedro is kidnapped by a rival in Chicago and held for ransom. And Margarito just pays a ransom of over $1 million to get him released. They had a rough idea of who it was who had done this, but did they go out and seek revenge? No. Would have been bad for business. They just accepted the loss and kept moving. So I'd always heard about the Flores twins, but I'd never really known a great deal about them. And then just recently, a guy named Tom Shakeshaft, who was a federal prosecutor in Chicago who had brought some really major cases against the Sinaloa drug cartel, retired. And he agreed to come in and talk with me about the Flores twins. And he told me that they were really just kids. They were born in 1981. At the height of their power, they were still in their mid-20s. Yet they became a kind of indispensable bottleneck.
Flores brothers were moving so much quantity of drugs. And
I believe that's Tom Shake Shack. We finally got to Shake Shack.
We're making enough money that customers needed them worse than they needed any particular customer. And so they would just cut them off.
The twins were thriving in Chicago, but eventually they got indicted in the U.S. And here's where their cultural fluency on both sides of the border really helped them. What they did is they just moved to Mexico and relocated their operations and started essentially running their Chicago business remotely from down in Mexico. And that worked out pretty well until 2008, when their main supplier, the Sinaloa cartel, began to fracture.
The Sinaloa cartel was part of what been referred to as the Federation, which included a number of cartel leaders who were working together. And that at some point, there was a split within the Federation. Well, the Flores brothers were being supplied by two different cartels within the Federation. And when those two different cartels went to war with one another, the Flores brothers were put in a very tenuous position of getting an ultimatum from each side that the Flores brothers were to work only with that side or else.
But this really sounds like The Godfather, doesn't it, Patrick? I mean, you have a split in what's called the Federation, and the brothers have to decide what to do. Who do they go with?
Exactly. It was an impossible situation. It turns out, however, there was a third option. They let it be known through a lawyer who was working for them that they might be willing to cut a deal with the U.S. government. In other words, the Flores twins were going to flip. So Shakeshaft and a few of his colleagues traveled down to Mexico to debrief the twins and see if they were serious about actually coming over to the other side in the drug war. And this wasn't as simple as it sounds. The Sinaloa cartel is famous for having corrupted parts of the Mexican government. It's part of the reason Chapo Guzman, the head of the cartel, managed to stay at large for so many years. So when Shakeshaft and his team went down to Mexico to meet their potential informants, they had to do it in secret. They couldn't tip off the cartel that they were down there meeting with these guys, but they also couldn't tip off the government.
It was all bad all the time, just under constant pressure from the beginning, from the first phone call, from the first sending Val or sending whoever to go talk to that lawyer. From there forward, everything was walking on eggshells. Crazy. Kai said, I want to know more about Damien Cash. We'll get to that. Damien Cash is going to end up on the show eventually. He said, sorry, I'll shut up so we could pay attention to these suits talk. But now it's Dream Team Fentanyl Boys. They got out in time. Yeah, man, that fentanyl shit, I don't understand it. I don't even like that word. I just got myself demonetized. But I don't understand that business.
That was one of the more James Bondian experiences I've ever had, because I got picked up in an armor-plated Jeep at the airport.
Felix, which boys got a death wish? The fentanyl team, they got a death wish? Let me know. DJ Wito, where you at, man? You came in here, asked me if I was from the Shy and then bounce. Salutes, bro. Yes, I am from the Shy. I am in the Shy. I will be here. Them boys have a death wish. The Flores brothers have a death wish? I don't know, man. Sound like they fighting to live.
Driven to a hotel, and then the next day we went to... That was one one of the more James Bondian experiences I've ever had, because I got picked up in an armor-plated Jeep at the airport and driven to a hotel, and then the next day we went to the U.S. consulate and then got driven around the streets of Monterey at about 110 miles an hour to make sure that nobody was following us and nobody knew where we were going, and we ended up going into the basement of a Western hotel in Monterey and taken up to a secure floor in that hotel with a lot of agents and other U.S. government personnel who had been there to make sure that it was a safe place to meet.
Damn, that's
He's kind of cloak and...
He did a whole tour just trying to have a conversation with these fools. But again, walking on eggshells from the moment that you get that word to the, the whole thing, which is why I had such a big problem with the, when the twins finally turned over the tapes, and then it was on Val and Vivi to get everything situated, get everybody out, and there's no plan, there's no nothing. You still doing that, as crazy as it was, you're still doing it on eggshells because everybody's watching. They just don't know what they're seeing yet, Shy, I hope you get your money, doggy. I don't know what money you're talking about, but I'm hoping to get some money too. I appreciate you. Felix Reyes, meeting up with the DEA in Mexico. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's okay. The DEA didn't even believe it was them for a minute, remember? They were like, a couple of guys out there bullshitting, running their mouth. Didn't even believe it was them. I mean, went out there to meet them really, though, for what, though? Because at the end of the day, they didn't even help them. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we're like, all right, cool. You guys want to flip? Handle that. Do whatever you got to do. And then from there, once you get on this side, then we'll figure it out. Like, they didn't even help them, so I don't get it. Jonathan Pantoja said, I always start with a B. I'm going to get it right, I promise. I'm meaty mouth fast. Jonathan Pantoja, Shael, got all his respect here. Salutes, man. I appreciate you. Salutes, DJ Wito. I appreciate you for being here, man. Wito's my favorite uncle's name, man. But yeah, so all of that walking on eggshells, the feds didn't even help them, dog. They did it on their own.
Dagger stuff might be normal for a DEA agent, but Shake Shaft was just a lawyer.
Well, when I started in the U.S. Attorney's Office, I was still single, and this case all came along sort of just after I'd gotten married and just after I'd had my first kid. And the stakes go up when all of a sudden it's not just you. There are other people relying on you. And I wrote a letter to my wife, and it was sort of explaining two things. One was the usual things you would say about, that you love her and that kind of thing. The second, though, was trying to explain why I went. Because I had started this, I felt like it was my responsibility to go, and that, number two, that if I sort of chickened out of going at that stage, she wouldn't want to be with me anyway, because I'd be pretty miserable for having blinked in the eye, of being personally nervous or scared about doing my job.
Shake Shaft and his colleagues were gathered in the hotel room when Pedro Flores walked in without his brother. He would be negotiating for both of them.
They were largely inseparable, in the sense of they had been in this together from the outset, and it is my belief that if only one of them had wanted to cooperate, neither of them would have.
Yeah, I believe that too. One wasn't going to go without the other. I mean, and also, we talk a lot about the three B's and how that's what separated them. I believe that they was going to get separated anyway. I believe that the government figured already by we done had them together too long. They already done had this. This is too good right now. They've been together too long. Salutes DJ Wito said never. He said just listening. Shit interesting as fuck. I appreciate you. Thank you. Goth Beauty said I really can't believe how dirty the U.S. did their family. Not just the twins, but Val and Viv also. Jonathan Pantoja said I tried quoting Hometown, but only you can do you, my dude. And now I read it and I see it. Shael got it. Okay, got all his respect there. I got you. I hear it. I hear it. Salute. But yeah, I think they was going to separate them eventually anyway. Like, yo, we done gave these dudes too much leniency when it comes to this mastermind being together shit. You know what I'm saying? Might those infractions and those things coming up on the government's radar might have, pushed them like, oh no, or confirmed their decision? Yeah, I believe that. But I don't think they would have kept you. I don't think that they would have kept them together for the rest of the 12 and a half years. I don't think that would have happened. I really don't.
Pedro was slight, soft-spoken, a guy who would blend easily into a crowd. But as he started talking about the brothers' operation, Shake Shaft was stunned.
His initial description of the structure of his organization, and by his organization, their organization, and the volume of drugs that they were distributing on a monthly basis was jaw-dropping.
The brothers agreed to help Shake Shaft and his colleagues in exchange for lenient treatment when it came to their own crimes. So while they were still in Mexico, what they did is they started making phone calls, negotiating deals with the cartel, and recording them. And because of their position in the cartel as these major figures, these wholesale buyers, there was no one they couldn't get to. On November 15th, 2008, Pedro placed a call to Chapo Guzman himself. You got to understand, at that time, Chapo was the most wanted drug trafficker on the planet. There were no recent photos of him. People couldn't say for sure what he looked like. He was a rumor, a ghost. But Pedro just dialed him up. Suddenly, here was his voice saying, "Amigo! How's your brother?"
Bruh, you better get out of here with your imitation, all right? Better not nobody get mad at me. Patrick out here doing full-on impressions of Chapo and shit. Amigo! You wildin'. This song's gonna get me flagged, boy.
And we're on the other side.
Remember, the Flores brothers were supposed...
I would say that once they decided to cooperate, they became as good a cooperators as they had been drug traffickers when they were on the other side.
Remember, the Flores brothers were supposed to be the biggest drug wholesalers in Chicago. So in order to keep up appearances, they had to continue importing drugs. And as the drugs arrived in Chicago, the feds would just happen to do a raid and seize them, which put the twins in a dicey situation.
And if you're seizing them, no money's coming back, right? There are no customers.
So you're taking the consignment, and they have no way to
pay for it. And that's one of the reasons that this couldn't go on longer. I mean,
because they're going into debt,
right? And to people who expect to get paid,
to put it mildly.
Yes, on time.
Now hold on a second, Patrick. This is very complicated. The cartels are at war, and each one of them is demanding that the twins choose sides, right? So the brothers decide to keep doing business with both cartels and running the risk of alienating either one, while tipping off the U.S. government and recording phone calls with extremely dangerous men, right? So what made them so gutsy?
Well, it's interesting. Tom Shakeshaft said that it was partially guts, but it was also that they were very calculating.
There were some practical reasons that they did all of that. One is that they're smart guys, and they knew that if the government was to prosecute these folks, corroboration is the name of the game for a trial lawyer. And among the best corroboration that we can have when we try a case is real-time intercepted phone calls and conversations with the defendants as they are currently engaged in their drug trafficking activity.
For you guys who were working this from the government side...
That was a long-ass explanation for the word recordings. Kai said this is super dope to hear the flip side of this and what the U.S. didn't have. The meeting with Pete. This is Mr. Shake Shaft.
There must have been a conversation where on the one hand you're thinking, boy, this is such great stuff. And on the other hand, you're thinking, we'd better pull them out if we ever want them to be alive long enough.
Bruh, you think about what they could have got if they would have just stopped the bullshit. See, America's stuck on two fronts. America wants to be Pillsbury Doughboy clean, Little Debbie, We have no scars. We are unblemished. America, right? So our mission in America is no drugs. Our mission in America is the war on drugs. Our mission in America is all of this good shit, right? Which we know is not true. And they don't want to be able to say, hey man, here's what we did. We let the twins work for another 5 years, right? Let's just say we just let them work normally, stack up their chips, right? We let them work, we let them get, and then they was working, they was giving us information. No, they want to play this, we are still holier than thou, so we had them flip, and then we also told them, well, you can't be making this illegal money, we need you to stop. So think of the less amount of information you're getting, the less amount of turnaround you're getting on your investment as far as having a CI, which is why I believe, we know CIA ops happen and there's wars happening that need to be won because we need that place for this, that, or the other. You know what I'm saying? And they tell us one thing and they do another. Rick Ross. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's the same way with this. Like, they was just pressuring them. They could have let them keep getting paid. They would have got more information. But they were thirsty. Like, we want what we can get right now. It was hard for me to explain all of that. In my own head, it's all jumbled, but I hope you get me. You know what I'm saying? Like, the U.S. is a hypocrite in that sense. You know what I'm saying? It wants to stop them from getting money, but you're also they're helping you with this, and you're putting them on blast by leaving them with nothing to bring back, no money to bring back to pay off the consignment. You know what I'm saying? So you basically hanging them out there.
To testify. Was that a negotiation or?
That was my concern all along. And because if they didn't survive and didn't make it back to the United States, you've got no case against anybody. Those conversations, those recorded conversations become much more difficult to authenticate at trial. You don't have live bodies to tell you the story. So there's a tension there between wanting to leave them in place as long as you can while you're continuing to get this good stuff, while at the same time constantly being cognizant of the danger involved and knowing that at the drop of a hat, you may need to say, let's go. It's time to get them out.
That happened on November 30th, 2008, less than a month after Shake Shaft and the DEA started working with them.
It was a Sunday. A big shipment, a big payment was due to the Sinaloa cartel that day or the next day, on the order of somewhere between $4 and $6 million. I also learned that DEA was planning on perhaps searching and or seizing some warehouses in Los Angeles. I became concerned that if, on the same day, the cartel didn't get paid, and they had one or more of their warehouses raided, it raised the specter that the Flores brothers, rightly or wrongly, could get blamed for it.
Or you think we've gotten past that already and there's people already running their mouth blaming them for it? Felix Reyes said exactly. Jonathan Pantoja said, look at the bread we giving to Ukraine, but it seems like we could care less about Israel and Gaza. Yeah, like America's just, this is a whole hypocritical fake thing. These people that are at at the Super Bowl with their flags and all of that, they believe all of the propaganda. They believe all of the commercials telling them that everything's all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I can't believe that. I don't pay attention to that. I've already seen, to me, what seems to be behind the curtain, and it doesn't interest me in the sense that you're not even accountable for your own horrors. You know what I'm saying? Think like Kingpin said, that's Jerome's position. What's Jerome's position? That the U.S. is what's his position? That they stick around longer and let these guys get some money, let these guys run their businesses so that they can give more information down the road. My shit about Jerome Finnegan is, he says that from a policeman's mentality. My argument is, Papa, you ain't a policeman. You know what I'm saying? You're a criminal like everybody else. And your heart has been on one certain specific bad guy. Man, America hasn't really shown you the bad guy. You ain't seen them. The bad guys are out there, boy. They're out there. They're wearing suits and shit, though.
You realize this is going to happen. This is going to go down the next day. So there must have been great urgency in terms of.
We got them on the phone, DA and I, and we told them, pack your stuff. We're getting you out of there in 2 hours.
Jeez, what happened once they got back to the United States?
So once the twins got back to Chicago, Shake Shack knew that word would spread pretty quickly that they had betrayed the cartel. But they still had time to catch some of the buyers in the United States. So the brothers start doing the same thing, making phone calls. But this time, they're calling a bunch of their customers to arrange deliveries and sting operations. If you're imagining guys with guns pulling up in bleak industrial zones, that's not usually how it works. In the real world, a surprising number of drug deals happen at mundane places, like McDonald's or the parking lot of a mini mall.
You do this job long enough and you realize how much drug trafficking takes place in front of all of us all the time. I mean, I've had, it's funny, I'll drive by a mall where I am familiar with the picture of the Best Buy because I prosecuted somebody who routinely, it doesn't take much to deliver, say, 10 kilos of cocaine. It's a duffel bag. It moves from one trunk to another.
Eventually, word does get out that the brothers have flipped. And when it did, the threat of vengeance from the cartel, from all the people that they had betrayed, was so real that it got to the point where even their lawyers, so not the brothers themselves, but the lawyers for the Flores twins, requested anonymity, asking that their names appear nowhere in any of the public records associated with their case. All the Flores brothers' relatives have been told to stay in the U.S., where they could be protected by U.S. authorities and really never to go back to Mexico. But their father, interestingly, Margarito Sr., the guy who taught them the drug trade when they were growing up, he reportedly was really upset when he heard that they had turned on the cartel. He was really disgusted and didn't speak with them again. And eventually, he did go back to Mexico. It appears he may have had another family there, and he went down to visit them.
While he was there, he was abducted. A note was left on his car that conveyed that his abduction was related to the brothers' cooperation.
The note said, "Shut up, or we'll send you his head."
It was a little bit of like your worst anxieties coming true, in the sense that they could get to somebody.
The twins' father's body was never found, and he's never been heard from since. Shake Shaft had no idea how the brothers would react.
That was morning. I just walked in and I said to them, I said, I'm the prosecutor and you guys are the witnesses, but when something like this happens, we're all human, and today you can do whatever you want to do. I said, if you want to talk about him, you can. I said, the only thing I can't let you do is just talk the two of you. Somebody has to be here. An agent has to be here monitoring you.
Do all the monitoring you want. Them fools have their own language. You know what I'm saying? Do all the monitoring you want. That was a desperation point. People wanted them to keep their mouth shut. It's crazy. What song, Kai? Let me know.
They were visibly distraught at both what evidently had happened to their dad and the fact that they had played a role in that happening.
Did it discourage them from cooperating?
It certainly did not discourage them from continuing to do what they were doing. And in fact, that same day...
At that point, what? What you gonna do? Turn around and go back? No, at that point, you're already in that deep. Where else is there to go?
We continued to work. So...
Was that their...
They had played a role in that happening.
Did it discourage them from cooperating?
It certainly did not discourage them from continuing to do what they were doing. And in fact, that same day, we continued to work. So...
Was that their decision?
Yes.
So at a certain point, they said, let's get back to work.
Yeah.
And even as they were cooperating with Shake Shaft, out on the streets, the Flores brothers were being replaced in the drug dealing chain of command.
I think it stands to reason. Common sense tells you there are still drugs available in the city of Chicago. I'm not so naive as to think that it maybe even made much of a dent in the overall war on drugs. I think,
bruh, what dent? What dent did it make? It turned it into some other animal, some worse animal.
we played a role. I think it was a good case. In 2008, probably the wholesale value of a kilo of cocaine was about somewhere between $20,000 and $25,000. It went up after the Flores brothers were arrested. Today it's $35,000.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Because it actually made it harder it was a scarcer commodity just by virtue of taking them off the street.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are a lot of factors behind it. I don't know that it was just them, but they certainly played a role.
Patrick,
Salute Felix Reyes in the chat. He said, what was Pop thinking? SMH. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. Let me tell you, man, that generation is hard to teach them something new. It's hard to keep them from where they want to be, and it's hard to tell them anything, Those men were different. They were cut from a different jib, you know what I mean? So who knows? Who knows? Yeah, man, who knows?
I've got to tell you, I'm listening to this, and it's exciting. And of course, we want the feds to succeed and put the dealers in jail. But doesn't this all sound like a game of whack-a-mole?
It does. It really does. And it's funny, the big role that the Flores brothers looked like they were maybe going to play was as star witnesses in the trial of Chapo Guzman. But after he was arrested in 2014, Mexican authorities refused to extradite him to the U.S. They insisted he should really stay in Mexico and face trial there first. The Mexican attorney general actually said, we'll be happy to turn him over to the U.S. maybe in 300 or 400 years. It looks this time like after the escape last time, the Mexican government might be a little bit more inclined to turn him over to the United States.
What's going to happen to the Flores brothers now?
Well, it depends. If the Mexican government actually does turn him over and he gets extradited here, and that could happen anytime, in the next few months. It could be 6 months. It could be a year. It'll depend a little bit on where he goes. He's indicted in different jurisdictions across the country because his drug network was so vast that there are indictments against him in Brooklyn, in San Diego. And if he goes to Chicago, it seems fairly likely that the Flores twins could end up actually taking the stand and testifying against Chapo Guzman. Regardless, at this point, they're about halfway through this 14-year prison sentence that they're serving. And it looks like when they get released, they'll be placed in witness relocation.
Mind you, this was all pre-COVID. Oh, shit. I said the word. I said a bad word, yo. This was all pre the vid. This is pre the trial. We know how it went. We know how it went down. Salutes to Polo Reyes in the chat. Salutes to J-Fam. La vida rápida está pelada. Facts. Polo Reyes was good, Shy. Salutes to you, Polo Reyes. Polo Reyes, appreciate you. Hundreds up for you. Appreciate you being here. Somebody go find Chad Divine. He been lost. But this interview is, it's, mind you, before testifying, I believe Shake Shaft passed away before Peter testified. And then after all this came the pandemic, and they didn't give the twins an early release on that, even though they had Jay in there damn near dead. And after that, so we basically know how this all ended.
Now, Tom Shakeshaft, interestingly, thinks that if they do get put in witness protection, that the twins could survive as long as they follow the guidelines of federal witness relocation. And one of those guidelines holds that they have to be separated. They have to be in different places. They can't be in the same city, can't be in the same state. And it seems pretty unlikely that they'll actually honor that.
I think one of the first things that I said ever when I first started covering this was Charlie Webster had said, man, it took a lot of work to get this podcast together. It was crazy, just getting them in the same room. They're not even supposed to be in the same room. And one of the first lines I said was, it's got to be crazy to have shared a womb and not be able to share a room. You know what I'm saying? And here we are at the end of the story basically saying the same thing, like they can't be in the same state. It's crazy.
They are, after all, inseparable. The thing that once made them so successful may eventually cost them their lives.
Wow. Thank you, Patrick.
Let's see. Kai said these dudes treated the Flores twins and family like dog shit. Took what they wanted, used them up. Absolutely, I agree. Used them up. Didn't even help them at the beginning. Again, these guys was like, yeah, we'll do this, do that. They were like, all right, go do it. Well, you ain't got no crazy 007 recording device. Nah, go figure it out. DJ Wito said Cartel got Shake Shaft. No, Cartel didn't get Shake Shaft. I believe they said it was. It might have been like a cardiac arrest or something, but they were blaming alcohol, and I was saying, did he become an alcoholic from this case or prior to this case? But I believe it was a health thing with him that he passed away. Cartel definitely didn't get him. That ain't happening.
That was Patrick Keefe talking with former Assistant U.S. Attorney Tom Shakeshaft.
R.I.P. Tom Shakeshaft. Again, did Shakeshaft have promises for the Cartel wives that the next prosecutor did not honor? It's very likely. Again, like Kai said, they took what they wanted and they used them up, and that was it. Jonathan Pantoja said, it's wild remembering how everything comes full circle eventually. Absolutely, man. That is life. That is life. Everything comes full circle eventually. And again, the story isn't even over. All this time later, they're still going through the story, Some people have, just like the twins, some people that were involved in that case did their time and got out, and they're in the world already, Things definitely come full circle. Goth Beauty, the twins went above and beyond, and to say the feds did them dirty would be an understatement. Yep. I agree. Like, listen, once we get past the fact, okay, they cooperated. All right, we get it. And then you get to the fact, well, why did they cooperate? Was it just to get lesser time? That's a part of it, but their life was on the line. All right, cool. Then once you get that out the way, then it's like, okay, they served up whatever the government wanted. They made a couple of mistakes on the way as far as maybe kind of rubbing it in or what the government would look like as them rubbing it in their face, and they took that to heart, and they've been holding that to their chest, man, forever. To this day. Like I said, hopefully once the Cartel wives are done and they get through their time and they get out and they get home, it's a wrap for the whole thing as far as legalities go, because it's like, how much more out of the game can I be to be left alone? Then it's on them to live their life however they see fit, and they understand the consequences and when they have to watch their back and when they don't, I'm sure. So it's like, again, a whole full circle situation right there, but it hasn't ended. Big story. I had somebody trying to convince me that Sammy made more money than them in the comments the other day or yesterday or today or whatever. Mad at me because I didn't give him a response. I just told him he was wrong. It's like, well, why? I can't even have this conversation with you. You know what I'm saying? The story's so deep and so big. It's like, all right, we got the podcast. We got the documentary that's on its way. I'm looking to cover that. Hopefully not get copyright struck, but I'm going to work my way around it and get to the scripted series, man. Get to the scripted series because the story's stranger than fiction, and again, it would take a lot of work to mess it up. So I'm sure that, it's going to deliver. It has to deliver. And I know y'all looking forward to it. But it's a deep story, man. And, the government should be just as much a part of the villain role as anybody else, because they're pretty villainous in this, Again, that's my thing with people like Jerome. Like Jerome, you have no high horse to stand on. You got it. You got that badge. You did some foul shit to some people. Your judgment of who they were and what they were, that doesn't interest me. You crossed the line and you became one of them. So, Jonathan Pantoja said Chapo's wife got less time than the twins' wives did. And she had real charges. Like, she had real aiding and abetting aiding and abetting escape, prison escape, and all, and bricks, and she had a lot on her jacket. Stuff that the cartel wives did not have. All they had on their jacket was that raggedy ass money. You know what I'm saying? That's all they had. Old girl had real charges, and old girl got out of there, and she did it. She had a cup of coffee and came home. Look, God's Beauty, same thing. And Emma did a lot more than Val and Viv. It surely got 3 years and got released after a year and a half. So maybe Val and Viv won't have to serve their whole 3 years. I hope not. That'd be nice, right? You would think, throw them a bone. But remember, they were trying to throw them more time. They were trying to throw them 9 to 12 years or something like that. So who knows? They might make them do every day. They might send them home. All I know is old girl Emma had a whole lot more on her jacket than the cartel wives did. So you could see the discrepancy there. It's not hidden in no math. It's right there. It's in your face. Jonathan sees it. God sees it. We all see it. You know, it is what it is. You know, and for them to get through it, they got to take in their head. All right, we're gonna take accountability, and we're gonna serve our time, and it is what it is. You know. Let me see. Let me look for something real quick. Something I saw recently. I might have to send it to myself. Salute to y'all. Hope everybody hit the like button. I appreciate y'all being here with me again. We didn't plan this live. This live happened off the back end of the premiere because I wanted to clear up some things, but here we are. You think the twins will be able to visit their wives? I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. I don't think the Board of Prisons is going to allow them to be inside one of their prisons visiting their wives just off of who they are. Yeah, I don't think so, man. Which sucks, which blows, because when we were watching the Dr. Wendy After Dark, they were saying not only that, the kids to go visit them have to have not just an adult, but a parent. Well, guess what? If their fathers can't go in there, then they can't go in there. So I don't know how they're going to get around that either. I'm sure they'll figure something out. But yeah, it's a beat down, dog. It's a beat down. It's been a beat down for a long time. He said bendito, LOL. It's been a beat down for a long time, boy. You would think they did have 100 bodies. You know what I'm saying? The way the government's doing them. Why do they have to be separated? They've already been punished. They've served their debt to society. Let them live their lives. As long as they're law-abiding citizens, leave those people alone. Couple of reasons. First of all, if they're in witness protection, they're on the government's watch. So the government be bogus if the government slips up and lets something happen to them. You know what I'm saying? It takes juice away from their program. It makes their program look stupid. Yeah, I guess it's their situation, so they get to make the rules. J-Fam said, you seen that killing in San Antonio with the pregnant girl, so you think it was cartel related? I briefly saw it, J-Fam, and somebody brought it to my attention in the chat, but I've been doing so much editing, I haven't gotten to it yet. Maybe I'll get to it right now. But I do want to check that out. And again, if it is cartel related, which is what people are saying, it's a dangerous game to play, man, and that's just, life is disposable when it comes to that. Shia, have you ever watched First Time Felon? You see that there cross and that there cane? I mean, I'm Vice Lord. Of course I've seen First Time Felon, man. Omar Epps and Tretch. Absolutely seen First Time Felon. Let me look this up real quick. I appreciate y'all being here again. Please hit the like button. At the end of the day, it's up to the twins to be on point, because look what happened to Alpo, Felix Reyes. Absolutely. You know, I think Alpo's a little different case. You know, from my understanding, the twins are family men. Alpo was outside. Alpo was on a mission to press everybody that called him a rat and go take a picture with them. You know, from my understanding, the streets didn't even take him over his cooperation. Streets took him off of off of he high signed and fronted on somebody else, in some arrogant, motorcycle / car type of shit, and dude came back and got him. So, salutes to God's beauty. See you. Until next time, peace. We'll be around tomorrow. We got some premieres happening tomorrow. But yes, at the end of the day, it's up to the twins to be on point, and I'm sure that they know that. You got to take care of your own, no matter what. Who got your back? Oh, the government got my back. Maybe. Maybe they don't. Who knows? Here we go. Copy text. Let me see this. Listen, somebody looking for them now to get them now. Like, everybody was looking for them then to get them then. So it's like, it's basically, you watch your back in your life. It's just what it is. The CO basically treated dude and sent him to do a full bid. The CO basically treated dude and sent him to do a full bid. And what? And first time felon? Yeah. I do remember that. When they was doing the flood, the Oneida. The flood in Oneida. Right. Salutes to Upper Echelon in the chat. We got another person claiming to have information on the chain. So we're going to check that out real quick. On this impromptu live that came through clarification to let everybody know a premiere is just a live chat. We're watching it together. Live, this is a live. Hopefully that clears it up. Let's see.
Okay, this is
Hold on, let's get a refresh going here.
Cumbia Kings. Yeah, wait, I was the drum tech. Okay, this is before I was driver. This was after Frankie J was in the group, and then they had Pee Wee, DJ Kane. I was in between. I was in and out, carnal. De repente, I would just pop up. Hey, what's up, fool? Hey, what are you doing in Freer? Pues tengo la clienta, güey. And they're like, hey, fool, we need a drum tech. Otra vez, güey. Pinche drum tech no vale. Y yo les arreglaba todo el pedo, güey. And, some people got in AB's ear, carnal. They were like, hey, fool, allegedly, this vato, He's promising his clientas on the side the backstage package. And, hey, wait, they lied on me, fool. Besides, there's no security footage of any activities, carnal. This is pinche Ninja Chile, güey. This is fucking... ¿Qué fue? Pinche, not Casper. Ghost Chile, güey. Pinche... De volada, NASCAR Chile. Y they were like...
Chili reactions, bro.
Hey, AB, hey, this vato's a liability, homie. We gotta come back through here, homie. We gotta come back through these cities, bro. And this vato, he's wearing the Cumbia Kings chain. He's going to after
He got the chain. He's wearing the chain to the after parties.
Güey. He's over there in the projects con la cadena del Cumbia King. Y te la robó there from your bus, güey. I said, hey, man, I don't give a fuck. Y me la robaron one time, güey, allá en Cabrini Green Projects. We were in Chicago, güey, Cinco de Mayo Fest.
Of all of the chain stories, this one's the most believable as far as
Y toda la raza de Milwaukee, Minneapolis, todo el Midwest, güey. Pinche East Chicago, Indiana, Gary, todo, güey. Todo chingo de gente. Y me puse, AB was on stage and they started hitting the cumbia medley. Y I said, fuck it, fool. Me puse la Cumbia Kings chain y me fui para los projects. Ahí andaba Cabrini Green after party. Y they're like, hey, what's up, vato? Hey, get little essay. Y tas, que me quitaron la cadena. I said, espérate, cabrón, ¿quién fue? No mames, bro. And then I black.
Upper Echelon asked if that's one of the twins telling the story. Nah, man.
Yeah, fool, it was a crazy night. The next day, Pee Wee had to call AB. Hey, fool.
He could probably play him in a movie, though.
hey, Juve lost the chain, vato. And AB was like, hey, what chain, fool? What chain? But then he was already tatted up. What chain, vato?
But who
and
got
I was
the
like,
chain
nah,
back?
Fool. And I'm like, quítate pinche Pee-wee. And I got on the phone. I was like, hey, fool, I'm gonna get it back, vato. I said, hey, man, I'm gonna get it back, fool. I just need like 24, 48, 72 hours, bro. I said, hey, my primo knows Jay Prince, vato. And we're gonna make some calls, fool. Y vamos a andar aquí. Hey, who the fuck? Ten la pinche cadena de AB, fool. La pinche cadena de AB, vato. Man, fool, you should have seen AB's face. Man, we had to get on the bus. Long story short, way, I got sent home, vato. Ya no había drum tech. AB said, fuck the drums. He didn't want to see no percussion. Hey, you couldn't even do percussive vocals. Ni eso, güey. He was, hey, aquí no va ni congas, ni un pinche el güiro, nada, güey. Anything percussive. Porque, no, but we got the chain back, vato. You know what it is. Connected. Tío Contino, toxic machismo. Tío.
Look, and he still didn't say who actually got the chain back in his hand, but that is the most convincing story out of all of them. Salutes to him for coming through with the win. I thought that was funny. Salutes to y'all. Let's see what Kai's talking about. Kai said, J-Fam said he shared it in Zaya's Discord. Appreciate it, J-Fam. Thank you, sir. Kai said, right now, with what the twins going through with their wives, they need each other now more than ever, and the government continues to punish them by saying, here, we're going to take your wives. Yeah, like, the government won't be done with them till they're done with them. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully by then, these boys put themselves in a situation to get past all this shit. Kai said, but we're not just going to take your wives. We're going to take you guys from each other, too. Come on, man. Yeah, no, it's a whole lot of shit. It's a whole lot of shit. So Chingo Bling or Hoover, whatever he calling himself, he got the real story on what happened with the chain, bro. He knows what's happening. Let's see what else we got here. Salutes to y'all. Appreciate y'all being here. See if there's anything online that I might have missed. Bro, he good. He too good. He good looking to be the twin. We got our boy right here. This is his Jordan. This is his Jordan logo right here. Boom. Clearing the bench on the viejita. Shit, she didn't even see him coming. It was at this moment she knew she fucked up. It's when it went down. Let's see what else we got here. I'm going to do a quick search, see if there's anything on the subject. Again, tomorrow we'll be dropping part 2 of the Saul Llewellyn paperwork. Those jokers. Let's see what we got here. This week. Nothing new. Nothing new. Just YouTube messing with me and demonetizing me. But again, this was an impromptu. Tomorrow morning I will be there for the part 2 of the Kidnappers of Peter Flores. I will be in the live chat. Remember, just slide over on your phone from comments to the live chat. We'll be in there. It's a premiere. It will not be a live stream. This was an impromptu live stream, but I appreciate everybody that came through it. It performed well, so y'all can start dropping them hundreds in the chat while I go through here and give a shout out to everybody that engaged and you know, helped push the content forward. I appreciate you guys. First and foremost, Jonathan Pantoja, salute to you. Think Like a Kingpin, salutes. Kai Gatchapin. Kai, go spend some time with the wife. Enough of this Flores talk for one night. I'm glad you finally made it to live and you popped it. Felix Reyes, salute to you, sir. 030 North, as usual, my brother. Salutes to you. Julio Caldena, salutes to you, sir. Ravi and Sorana, a strong duo. I know y'all wanted me to go check out whatever you wanted me to go check out, but we checked it out. It was a cartoon, not from my crowd. In order for me to cover that, you'd have to pay the donation. Who else is in here? Who else was in here? Salutes to J-Fam. Salutes to DJ Wito. Salutes Sarah Lee. Goth Beauty. Polo Reyes. Upper Echelon, salutes to him for being here. And I think that is it. Let me see. We saw Raven. Raven was in that was in the last one. Boom, boom, boom. Salutes, DJ Wito. Thank you for being here. Upper Echelon said this might be a good time. Might be a good time for what, sir? Salutes, J-Fam. Salutes, Felix Reyes. That court dive is a take on Finnegan's take, messing with the abuelita and the nephew. Salute, Sha'el. I appreciate you, my dude. Jonathan, I appreciate you. Definitely, boy. He was coming back. That was revenge for the abuelita that pinche Jerome arrested. Jerome Finnegan. Yeah, we'll be talking about him sometime this weekend. Maybe I'll do a live tomorrow or the next day, and we'll get another episode of Finnegan's Take, and we'll get some more Cartel Wives out of there. Again, we're gonna run that down. I want by the time the documentary comes around, I want us to be fully focused on that and done with these other series. So I appreciate y'all for being here. Please share with your friends, holla at your friends, tell them where we at, what we doing. Tell them that the story is stranger than fiction. They can start at 1. This might be a good time to do a live. We're live right now, bro. We've been live for how long? 2 hours. We're 10 minutes. We're 9 minutes, 8 minutes shy of 2 hours right now. DJ Wito said, Echelon, you got a fat butt. What is going on in the chat? Y'all wildin'. What else? Yes, please share. Hit the like button, hit the notification, hit the subscribe button. Let's get these numbers up. I appreciate y'all for being here. As always, I will continue to put in the work. You guys continue to ask each other the uncomfortable questions. I'm going to sit here and wait and see if Upper Echelon's going to answer DJ Wito right here. They're wilding out. But I appreciate y'all. And again, if there's information and things that you want me to check out, I'll put up the link to the Discord. As a matter of fact, I'll do that right now. For those that have Discord and want to get involved in our Discord, this is a safe place. It's like a social media specifically for us. There's only 4 or 5 of us in there right now, but it's a place to come in and you could give us links and stuff like that if you want us to, bring other information to the table. Let me get this invite real quick. Let me edit this invite. To never expire. Generate that link. Boom. And I will paste it right here. Bow. Discord. Invite. There it is. Discord invite. Also, we have other playlist links right here for you. This is my true crime playlist. There's about 90 videos in here of me talking about dumb criminals and dumb cops. What else? And here we got Cartel Wives. And tragic death of Zach TV1. And again, we also have Finnegan's Take and we have Cartel Chronicles. Cartel Chronicles, there's 2 videos in there. One about the El Pirata de Culiacan, young man that was that put himself in a pickle with the cartel and lost. So there's a whole documentary in there about that, and there's also the story of the Kate del Castillo, Sean Penn, El Chapo saga. So y'all can check that out there too. It looks like Upper Echelon's not going to answer Wito's question. It looks like I'm not going to get the context of why Wito would ask that question. But again, I appreciate y'all. Salute to y'all. Thank you for coming through. And make sure you catch tomorrow's premieres. And if there's time, I'll throw myself out there and do a live. Thank you guys very much. We got through the Shake Shaft today. See what tomorrow offers. Y'all have a good night. Be safe. Peace.